to A Gypsy's Kiss. It's Humpday, Hoedown, and I'm Shelley Carney. Am I not hooked in?
It's the OBS again.
Uh-oh.
OBS is killing us.
I told you to buy that VMix.
Check. Yeah, we have literally no audio. The hell? What is wrong with this system? Okay, filters.
No audio.
Yeah, we know. You know what it is? It's gotta be NVIDIA. Knocks it down every time.
Are we still?
Yeah,
On
we're
the
still
air?
recording.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Hold on, everybody. We got some audio issues. Okay, we're back to normal. Gee, many Christmas.
Let's
Anytime
try
I
again.
make that change, it's Windows. It's not OBS. Hey guys, we're sorry about that.
Oh,
Let's
Sure.
start that. Okay.
Well, you get down
There
the
was some
fiddle and you
music.
get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw 'em on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night.
And
Hello, and welcome to A Gypsy's Kiss. It's Humpday, Hoedown, and I'm Shelley Carney.
Yonder come a
Forgot what day
kinfolk
it
in
was.
the moonlight. Louisiana Saturday night. Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and
I'm Toby Younis. Thanks for being patient. We've just had not a very good technical day, but that's because we keep making changes, and you just have to suffer through it. So we got a lot of stuff to do. We're going to read that certified, registered piece of mail that we got. Shelley's got something she wants to say. We've got some voice emails to read, voicemails to play, text messages to read, and then as soon as we can, we will open up the phone lines. Let's see if I can get through
Hello.
the damn intro here.
Alrighty.
Wow.
Things are back to normal,
Yeah, well.
or as the Rugrats used to say, back to Norman.
So the bad news, ladies and gentlemen, is, among other things, some other pieces of bad news. We haven't gotten to the bad news yet. So, among other things, is this afternoon when we had that little faux pas and we restarted, it put it all in the same video, and I cut off the first 5 minutes so that you wouldn't have to watch it twice. And what I remembered, actually what Shelley reminded me of, and I kind of
Ignored completely, as he always
is
does.
that whenever you do that to a YouTube live stream, it cuts off. It can't synchronize with a chat. So that this afternoon's video doesn't have live chat with it, and it's not because we turned it off. It's because I forgot
cut
that
the front off.
when you
So
edit,
Eric Schmidt,
when you trim.
if you could put that link in the comments that you shared with everybody, the historical map one.
Yeah.
Somebody else shared a link. I can't remember now who it was. Mike
Oh.
Wood? Somebody. Was it Mike? Yeah,
Yes.
Mike Wood. And he actually sent us an email with the link in it. So we can add that to the comments for that video.
And hold it for just a sec. Because
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Julie, huh? Julie, guess what day it is? Julie, huh? Julie. Mike, what day is it, Mike? Come on, I know you can hear me. Anybody? Huh? Woo-hoo! Mike, what day is it, Mike? Anybody? Julie, huh? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Julie, oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike, what day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day.
whew, got through that reasonably well. Okay.
Mike.
So,
What day is it, Mike?
So that was the other thing. All right. So let me handle some.
Housekeeping, you want towel?
see if I can get through this. Okay, housekeeping. Number one, and I'm still blowing the heck out of this. Hey, check. 1, 2. Okay, so first of all, if you haven't already completed the Fenn Treasure Searcher Survey, please do so as soon as you can. The survey will run through the end of June. We will present the data in summary form on Wednesday at 1 p.m., July 3rd. The link to the survey is in the description box below. 2, please, for as much trouble as we've had today, please like this video.
Yeah, take pity on
YouTube
us.
Feels sorry for me and Shelley. Like this video because YouTube likes it when you like our videos, and we like it a lot too. Share it with your family, your friends, your neighborhood association, your business associates, and the entirety of your social networks. And finally, because that will give us the opportunity to.
In lieu of paying my dues this year, I'm just going to send
sharing
you
this.
to this video.
I just got my homeowners association bill. And then finally, if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. And that way, whenever we start a live stream, no matter how poorly we start it, or whenever we announce a live stream, even though I forgot to schedule it, you will be immediately informed of that
days.
information. And
in the know.
thank God there's something going on, right? And then I think that's it. So
Oh, don't forget, if you would like to leave a comment in the chat room, Greg Keller's not here tonight to show you how it's done. Use the @ a capital A, space, capital G, Gypsies, space, Kiss. And boop, and it should show up in orange for us so that we don't miss it.
And Gypsies is Gypsies, the
With a Y. 2 Ys.
Gypsies, but it's possessive, not plural. So it's GYPSY''S.
And
Kiss.
there is also a stylized $ at the bottom of your chat window, hopefully. And if you click on that and do a super chat, boop, boop, they will put your special comment or question in a box that is colored for your pleasure. And it will jump up on the screen and everybody will have a party about it. So make sure you try that out tonight for our super chat challenge.
Colored for your pleasure? Like your viewing pleasure? What?
Something like that.
Okay, so where do we want to start? You want to talk about that?
Alrighty.
Just like Dave
There,
just did. See?
DIY Dave, look at
DIY
that.
Dave.
Where's our cha-ching? The cha-ching and a bell.
Speaking of which, how are you doing, Miss Shelley?
Oh, super.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer.
We changed. Shelley wanted her song changed, so we changed Shelley's song.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you talk about that, and
It was
then
fun.
I'll read this.
All right. So last week we went to dinner with some searchers who were in town passing through, and we talked to you about that last week on our Wednesday night show. We showed you a picture of the jar of treasure that they are hiding. And while we were at dinner, I used my special straw and forgot it. And they sent it to me in the mail.
A stainless steel straw
So
that she carries everywhere.
I now have it back. Doo-doo, and can slurp once again.
You can buy them at the range. As a matter of fact, Cynthia apparently bought one at the range, and she uses it when she's out in the field in case she has to draw water from a place that she can't reach.
Yes, they left me a note. Says, "Hi, Shelley. You left your straw at the cafe.
Mitzi's
Thought you'd
threatening.
want it. Hi to
Mitzi.
Toby, your friend Steve and June."
Mitzi, don't
you,
threaten
Stephen June.
everybody with banning. It's okay if they don't like it. She's threatening everybody with banning.
Like,
Check. Hit like or I'll ban you. Okay, so here's the deal with this thing. This is a letter I
well,
received.
don't show them everybody's address.
Oh, good point. You can't see it. Okay, let me cover that up right there. So that was a letter that I received at our...
Oh, Illinois Ghost says, that looks familiar. Yeah.
yeah, you got one too. He says so.
He got the same letter.
So it's a registered letter from Bruce Perry. And there's a cover letter that comes with it, so I'll read the cover letter first. It says AGK and IG being Illinois Ghost, because he sent a copy of them. It's working so far, only 11 bands. It says AGK and IG. It was written May 29th, 2017. I am sending you a copy of the letter I have just sent Forrest Fenn. This letter documents the 3 times I contacted him and gives details about those contacts that are pertinent to the thrill of the chase treasure hunt. You can easily match the timeline of relevant events to these dates and details if so desired. Other than a small handful of friends, he made it 2 words, I'm sorry, and family who I have shared a smattering of these details with, open parentheses, and most of them have probably already forgotten, close parentheses. AGK and IG are the first to have this information. I thought it important to summarize my contact and some details I shared with Forrest since early August of 2017. Sorry, but now you will know where the treasure is buried. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me It doesn't matter to me if you're skeptical about this information. In fact, as you well know, skepticism is an absolute necessity when it comes to this treasure hunt. What matters is the importance of the information to searchers and the hunt, and that Forrest knows others now have this detailed information. I leave it up to AGK and IG to determine what's best for the community. I have no expectation of secrecy or confidentiality. It will be interesting to see how this plays out. Let history take its course. Regards, Bruce Perry. Well, you know us. We read everything. That's part of our thing. So this
deal.
is the letter written to Forrest Fenn. It has 3 pages, but the third page is a map. Third page is a map. I don't think we'll do that, okay? So this is what Mr. Perry wrote to Mr. Fenn. Dear Forrest Fenn, I called you from the Livingston Hospital on August 8th, 2017, having been taken by ambulance the previous day from Gardiner for heat stroke complications. I told you I had found where the treasure was buried. I didn't mention my name, such as Aldridge Lake. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mention any names such as Aldridge Lake. However, I did give you these definitive details. I said about 50 yards from the cemetery entrance towards the lake, there was an aluminum pipe sticking out of the ground. It is a property marker designating the corner of public property and private. I then noticed a bearing tree, and bearing tree is capitalized, placard that was directly across from the pipe. It is one of several blazes. The others are more permanent. The bearing tree placed was the blaze I first noticed. I described for you what I saw when I looked down. It was a circle of dry branches crisscrossing and forming a circle, something akin to a wagon wheel without the outer rim. There were also 3 or 4 medium-sized rocks placed towards the center. It was a 3-minute call. You took my name and phone number. So apparently you said you contacted him, so I must have contacted him by phone. I had no further contact with you until July 3rd, 2018, 11 months later, it looks like. I notified you via email of the slow progress being made due to my health. I was down to more than 4 feet and have yet to find the treasure, believing now it was likely buried at 6 feet, even though extensive probing was fruitless. I had found 4 aluminum roofing nails on the north side of the hole when the sidewall collapsed, along with a couple of other, quote, signs, unquote, you intentionally placed in the hole. I still could not locate the treasure with my probe. You have it. Okay, I'm turning your microphone on. Microphone is off. Press that red button when you're ready to come back. Now you got me laughing. The next and last contact was again via email dated January 25th, 2019. It covered much of what follows. I was down. Now you have me going. I was down to over 6 feet, now under more than a foot of water seeping in from the lake. It was then I located the treasure with the probe. With a probe. It is directly under the deliberate little rock overhang, a la Mummy Joe's Cave, see Illinois Ghost video, quote, not in a mine or tunnel, unquote. You carefully left a clue when burying the treasure. It's on the side towards the cemetery. The treasure is on its side, making it a very small target. I believe it's inside a bigger box with a lid, open parentheses, a la page 218, too far to walk, close parentheses, and 8 feet from the ground level to the top of the box, which is under more than 3 feet of water. You were determined to make recovery difficult, and you did, with about 2 feet left to dig. I was exhausted and ditched my tools in a nearby bush and trees. Upon returning... Oh, man. There you got me going. Upon returning, my tools were gone. The local Forest Service officer had confiscated them after 18 months. The jig was up. Later, via phone, he said I was in violation of federal regulations 36 CFR, stands for Code of Federal Regulations, 36 CFR 26.19A and 36 CFR 261.13, and may have to pay the cost of filling the hole. I told him I had every intention of refilling the hole, was not the first person to dig the hole, and I would challenge any charges in court. I have not heard from the officer since February. I think they are waiting for me to try to sneak back in. Forest Service has trail cams up, as well as the nosy guide who lives nearby. It was he who tipped off the Forest Service that a hole had been dug. He treats the lake like it's his private retreat for clients. The landowners are monitoring those coming and going as well. I still have an expectation that they will charge me and suspect that the hole has been filled in by now. I can't go back to check. I send you this log of details via USPS because you have, quote, pushed, open parentheses, yourself, close quote, away from the computer. Oh, this is to Fenn. Close quotes, close parentheses, close quotes. I may never be able to recover the treasure now, so it's time that others become aware of the state of the hunt. I have documenting evidence of the site before and after solving the poem. So where does this leave the future of the treasure hunt? It provides minimal details about my health and my physical difficulties. The number one issue is my lungs. The pulmonologist is monitoring spots growing on my lungs. I'm seriously considering an option that would put unique and unexpected twist on the treasure hunt and its legacy. If it turns out this illness is terminal, I very well may throw myself over the treasure, much like you had contemplated, and let my bones go back to the dirt. Let history take its course. Sincerely, Bruce Perry. P.S. Placement of the Blaze Orange Sea Kayak was astonishing. What? Placement of the Blaze Orange Sea Kayak was astonishing. The key word is border. The treasure essentially lies on 6 different borders: the border of a state, the border of a national park, the border of public-private property, the border of a lake, the border of a cemetery, the border in a hole. Attached pic illustrates just one of the many clues from the thrill of the chase, page 38. The front sight on my gun was a little crooked. Oh, he's quoting Fenn. The quote, the front sight on my gun was a little crooked, so I had to offset some when I aimed, but that didn't matter because I knew exactly how much to aim to the side I had to point. And I didn't take a close look at this picture, but it looks like it's up around Park County, Wyoming, Eagle Creek. So I'll put it up there in case anybody wants to figure out where it is. But he's got a little circle drawn right there. But apparently that's where the treasure is. So in case anybody needs to go look for the treasure, they can go look there. Thank you, Mr. Perry, for sharing that with us. I hope our audience enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed reading it, and apparently as much as Miss Carney enjoyed it. Your turn.
All right. You want me to read this one?
Oh, just introduce it to who it's from, and then I'll tell people what we did with it.
Oh, all right.
Actually, let me do that so you get a better email to read. Because you've got to get through this. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Somebody just said, sorry, I missed part of this letter, and could you please start over? Yeah, no, we're not going to do that, Joel.
Also, I missed
But he's
what
being
Shelley
crazy.
was doing with the straw. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Okay, so this was an email from Mike Wood. Mike was the guy that was trying to contact us this afternoon, but his number was restricted, and the reason is he lives someplace other than the United States. He's a +64, so I don't know. Is that New Zealand?
I
64.
think he's in New Zealand.
Oh, is he? Anyway, he gave it. He was apologizing for having provided an incorrect link on our show this afternoon. And Mike, you don't have to apologize for that. There was no offense taken at all. But I thought it was important enough, rather than read it because it has a lot of detail, I've taken his letter, the one from Mike Wood, and I've put it at the top of our community blog. So if you want to read the entire letter, where he talks about what resources, what mapping resources he uses, you're welcome to read it in our community blog.
Okay.
Okay.
This is from T. Weinhold. I think it was Tim or Tom. And it's my thoughts about water. Oh, from Tom. West Minnesota. Okay. Hi, Toby and Shelley. As always, I enjoyed last Wednesday's afternoon water topic, and I agree that water is going to be key in the correct solution. There is one water feature I don't think is part of the poem, that is being a waterfalls. I remember watching an interview with Forrest, and he said something to the effect that he didn't know why people were looking for or talking about waterfalls. I wish I could remember his exact quote and interview him. I wish I could remember his exact quote and interview because he seemed to be puzzled about this. This led me to believe that water high isn't a waterfall. Those that are using a waterfall in their potential solution might want to find that interview and decide for themselves. One other water source might be worth considering. In the poem where it says, "It's no place for the meek," I think Forrest is referring to meek fishing reels. I think this is a point at where you will leave a fishable stream or river and follow a shallow creek, possibly rocky with fallen trees, unnavigable by boat or canoe, meaning no paddle could be used. I also think this might possibly be that no paddle up your creek may be a hint to not following the creek very far or not at all. Might be to cross and head upward, maybe back toward the river that could now be a bit higher than the creek you just followed. Chances are, if you're in a canyon with more than one creek or stream flowing down, there will be at slightly different elevations. A river anywhere alongside that creek or stream above where you are standing could be considered water high. You could also have traveled down canyon from a lake or reservoir if you turn slightly kinda backtrack. This could be your water high. Take the letter J, for example. If you begin at the top and follow it to the end, you're ready to head back up. You are not switching back, but you now have water high in the direction you are going. With many possible meanings for each clue, keep an open mind and don't limit yourself to one in specific. Be flexible in substitutions. Eventually, your theory will start to come together. No two hillsides or mountains are the same. This is why boots on the ground will be necessary to piece together the last clues. I recommend taking a bunch of photos while boots on the ground. Being able to reference them while refining your next search can be helpful. Good luck and stay safe. He typed all that on a phone.
Yeah. Takes a lot of patience. Short one. I'll read a short one. How's that? This one is entitled Maps. It's from Gary Gilmore. Isn't he a comedian? Isn't Gary Gilmore a comedian? No. He says, "Hi, Shelley and Toby. Have you considered that Forrest's idea of a good map might be one that burns well?" Have we considered that? Is that too far to walk the story of him?
Him and Donnie burning the map because
Yeah.
it came in handy?
Yeah.
Could be. I don't think that's why Fenn told us to have a map. I think he just doesn't want people getting lost.
I wouldn't burn my map.
Because he's been lost and it's no fun.
And it's no fun being lost, is it?
It's scary.
Your turn.
This is from Jack, and it's called Potential Afternoon Topic.
Not Jack Selvage?
Just Jack.
Jack 853198.
Nope.
Oh, sorry. Is that his phone number?
Probably.
Okay.
Or something. I don't know if it is or not. Hey guys, I'm a fan of the show and I've asked some text questions before as Jack from Philadelphia. I was going to call in this week to talk about some different cognitive biases I see in the searcher community beyond just confirmation bias, with supporting evidence from Fenn quotes. I think this would end up being a long call, though, as I have a list of 7 searcher biases and 2 potential biases I think Fenn himself may exhibit. So it would probably be better as the topic for one of your afternoon shows. If you have any interest, I could flesh these out more for you.
Should we ask him to flesh them out?
Flesh them out and maybe do some probing. Yeah.
Do not start.
Hi, it's Hump Day.
Yeah, it's Hump Day. Hump Day and we be
Hump
probing.
Day.
Oops, got 2 of those. All right, this one is from Ronaldo Vasquez, and I'm just going to read the first paragraph because it went on for, let me see, a long page. So this is one of the emails that I've posted to our community blog. If you're really interested in reading it, you're welcome to go to the community blog. It's there. So this has no subject. It's from Ronaldo Vasquez, and his email address. Oh, that's interesting. So he writes, read this before continuing. Below, I shared my 6-year journey, which will come to an end next week with or without the chest. So please do not share specific details to the location of each clue until after Monday, June 17th. It's on our community blog.
Oops.
It's oops. Especially since function at the junction is taking place and so many searchers are close to my search area. You may share the ideas behind each clue, but please do not share the actual location. You didn't give me the actual locations that the clue pertains to. If someone has the same ideas, they will get there on their own, and I'm fine with that, but let's not make it easy for them. And I apologize for the incoherent rambling. I just randomly thought about putting some of this down. In writing and sharing it with y'all. We have thus shared it. He also writes a follow-up letter and he says, hi, once again. This one is entitled, the subject line is My 6-Year Journey. He says, hi, once again, I should have mentioned that the clues and their solves are hard to find anywhere else. For example, just how many boat ramps have a road next to them with a draw across the street from them on the Madison River, or anywhere else for that matter. Sincerely, Reynaldo Vasquez. Indeed.
All right.
My dear friend.
This one is from Jack Selvage, and it's entitled Rio de los Pinos SF Raffle. See attached photos. SF Raffle.
Oh,
Santa Fe?
Yeah, you know who that is? Mm-hmm. That is the gentleman who, let me see what's going on here. That is the gentleman, Jack Selvage is the gentleman, oops, I'm sorry, didn't mean to grab that out of your hand. The gentleman that found our coin down on the Rio de los Pinos, and he sent us some pictures, so I'm going to share the pictures with you because I thought they were really neat. Because he said it did bring back pleasant memories for him, and it does for us as well. So let me pop a screenshot. Okay, so this is the first picture he sent us, and that's the baby mammoth skull that we hid the coin in, and then Shelley put it inside that one blue spruce, right? Mm-hmm. The blue spruce? Mm-hmm. And we hid it, and then the picture that we used as a clue was her holding the baby mammoth skull.
It's just a skull.
He took a picture of that before they took it out. That is, now you can see how low the water is, why the fishing was so bad. That's the area, you can see the blue spruce there in a group of other trees, and that's that little island that I talked about this afternoon, and that's the tree, the blue spruce right there, was the tree in which we had placed the baby mammoth skull. That's another view of it. And this is Jack, when he came up to me at the raffle drawing for Jamie Jordan, at Collected Works Bookstore on September 6th, if I remember correctly, 2018.
Last
and,
year.
And I was speaking to the group. We were live streaming, and I was talking, and all of a sudden he was in the audience, and all of a sudden he just held up the baby mammoth skull, and I just like, whoa, I went crazy. And this is a picture of Jack with DeCall Thomas, and I don't know the guy in the middle.
I think that's Forrest Fenn.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the infamous.
He just hangs out at Collected Works and
Apparently.
hopes for people to stop him and ask for
So
his autograph.
Jack said he scared the heck out of his wife going down that road that we head down into the Rio de los Pinos. It's tight. It's literally a one-lane road, and my Nissan Frontier, it's a tight fit, and he was driving one of those big, Ford F-250 diesel things. So yeah, it might have looked like he was falling off. That was very Jack. If you're watching this, thank you for showing those pictures. It brought back.
Did you
some
want to read it or
pleasant? Oh, you didn't read it all?
only the title?
Oh, sorry. I wasn't paying attention. He said, this is from Jack Selvage. He says, Toby just finished watching Maps on AGK YouTube channel, brought back some fond memories because we mentioned that area. Thought I might take you back to September of 2018, see attached photos. As a reminder, my wife and I arrived in Santa Fe from Oklahoma 2 days before the raffle at the Collected Works bookstore in Santa Fe last September. The day before the raffle, I went to Toltec Canyon and found the AGK treasure in the baby mammoth skull. Photos attached. And Fenn Searcher coin number 868. As you know, that's the coin that we put in the baby mammoth skull. As you know, the treasure was hidden in a blue spruce tree, see photo, on an island in the middle of the Rio de los Pinos at a point where the boundaries of Colorado and New Mexico meet. A very clever hiding place. Thank you. Fennesque, he says. Very Fennesque. I also included a couple of other photos you might be interested in seeing. By the way, Forrest and I had an interesting conversation outside the bookstore that day. Say hello to Shelley.
Hello.
Jack Selvage, also known as High Plains Drifter. Thank you for Jack, and your wife as well. Thanks for doing that. That was a lot of fun, and it brought back some pleasant memories for us as well. You want to go back and say hi to the room?
I think that's probably a good idea.
Okay. Bueno pues.
Bueno Vesquez.
Reynaldo Vázquez.
He's in the room.
He is?
Está
En la
aquí.
sala. Está en la sala.
Está aquí.
Está aquí en la sala.
Sí.
He's in the room. La sala de
La
chat.
La sala de chat. Chat.
Yeah, chat. That's French for cat. Okay, so you guys that are watching on Facebook, I know you think we can't see your comments, but if you do comment, I can see it on the Restream IO chat. We have both sets of chat. We have the YouTube and the Restream IO.
I start at
enables
7:15.
us.
What do you got?
Let's see.
I'm like bidding in cards or something.
I got
I got two
7:12.
hearts.
Wait,
7:12.
let me see what this one is. Hang on.
Got to play our new video. Newish.
Newish. This one starts at 7:15, but Restream IO, go with yours. It's okay.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
That's hello chat room
Yes.
or shot room. That was nice. That's our new one. Hang on. You know what? I haven't tested the sound effects audio. Let me just make sure we're not going to blow their eardrums out here. Okay.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer.
Okay, hit it.
All right. So, hello, everybody in the room. All our friends are here, including Aaron Herlihy, Steve, Davio.
Oh, Davio.
Aliens are coming to probe you. Juno Hewitts.
Have you ever figured out how to say it?
I'm just going to go with that. Jason Northface, who says, I'm so awesome. Thank you. AJ Rainville.
She is awesome.
Democrats only. Evan Penn. Williams here.
Got it, William. William.
Going up the range on a crazy train. I'm going up the range on a crazy train.
All right. We have Tony Driver, Hush Whisper, Alan K.
Hi, guys. We are saying hi to you, by the way.
Yeah, Jeff Ann Schultz is here.
Hey, Jeff.
He has a song.
He does?
Dueling Band. Just gets going and it stops.
Well, we can only use 7 seconds. Otherwise, we're getting in trouble.
I know. Adrian Pavetta. Wait, if we pitch $20, this ends, right? Oh. We'll stop reading letters and we'll hang up on people.
No, well, we will. No, you guys don't have to do this. So, well, go ahead and finish. I have an idea for the phone calls.
Oh, okay. L. Ryder. Copper Dan. Copper Dan's here. We didn't get your song in yet because Toby was lazy.
It's on the list. You know what? I have no children, no spouse, and I'm retired. I simply just don't have the time for this kind of stuff.
I know, right? Point V is here. Mr. T. Man in the Park. And again, we didn't get to your song yet, but we'll get there. KT Southwest.
What does that mean, KT Southwest? KT Southwest. What does that mean, KT Southwest? What does your name mean?
Jayla G. Salty Dog. Texas Sad. Full Press. Silver Thread.
Silver Threads. Oh, no, that's a song.
Yes. Silver Bells.
Silver Wings. We were thinking about Silver Wings.
Silver Bells. That's a Christmas song. Toby Fan 3000, John Werner.
Thank you, John, for being one of our moderators.
He has a song, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't he?
I thought we gave him a song.
No, I think he's on the list.
Oh, he's on the list. You're
on
on the
the
list,
list.
John. That lot of good list does when you don't do what's on it.
I'm telling you, I'm retired, no children, no wife, no plants, no pets.
Jingo
I just don't
bingo.
have the time.
Don Davidson. Does he have a song?
Don Davidson? No. Now you're making up stuff.
Oh.
Don
he
Davidson
asked
does
for-
not have a song.
Oh, okay. Maybe we couldn't find his song.
Mm.
Bloop bop. My baby bloop bop. Bloop
Is that a song?
Bop. Well, M-bop is.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Bop. Bop. It's a Hanson song.
Blue Bob says, so you're saying this guy probed a hole? He failed to use proper lubrication.
Yeah, you gotta lube the hole. You might break your thing off in
You
it.
might break your tool off.
You might break your toe. K-Pro's here.
We're going to get demonetized. Cape Pro, my sweetheart.
And Mitzi Moore.
Mitzi. Thank you for being one of our moderators, Mitzi Moore. We appreciate it. Don't ban anybody.
Unless they need banning. Don't be banning anybody who don't need no banning.
No, we need no banning.
That's like in Texas when the judge tells you, don't be killing nobody who don't need killing. Tony Driver's here. We have Chris Kibble. Kibby?
Kibble.
Kibby. Kibble? Kibby. That's an I. Kibby. Robert Inco in Colorado,
Oh,
perhaps?
way to figure that one out, huh? So
Inco in Colorado.
Glenn isn't here tonight?
Who?
Our other moderator.
Greg?
Greg, sorry.
Greg said this afternoon that he probably wouldn't be here.
Oh, that's right. And he's not going to be here Friday either.
Because he's a busy, busy boy.
Partay.
But he did go his boots on the ground.
We got emojis, eggplants, camels, and man in the park making some obscene gesture. I don't know what we started tonight.
AU rockin'. AU is gold, right?
AU.
Gold rockin'?
That's the symbol for gold.
Probably not out there. Oh, probably not
out
there.
Yeah, 6 feet and 8 feet. It's on its side. There's water flowing into the hole.
My goodness.
I don't know, guys. That's a lot of drama. That's too much drama for a treasure chest. It's too much drama. I'm playing the drama llama thing.
Drama llama.
Too much drama for one treasure chest. If you're in an 8-foot deep hole with 3 feet of water covering your lower legs.
Hey, as long as this wasn't acid. Illinois Ghost
Could have
is
been
here.
acid, yeah. Could have been the lake where he's a acid lake.
Illinois Ghost. He doesn't have a song yet because he's on the list.
He's on the list.
along with all the other people who don't have songs yet but are on the list. Bloopa, oh, I said that. Jim Siri, dig the hole and put the probe in it.
Huh?
Jungle Cruiser.
That's how you find out about those holes.
I zoomed into some locations today.
Oh, Jungle Cruiser did?
That's what it says.
Oh.
But then he says a little... Michael Hole's here.
Hey, Michael.
Blame Canada, blame Canada. With all their beady little lies and flapping heads on full lies. Blame Canada, blame Canada.
All righty. Little South Park for y'all. Joe S. is here.
Joe.
No,
No, that's Jen, sorry.
that's
Wait,
Jeff.
Joe, where the heck is Joe? Oh, right there.
He's in the bathroom on the right.
There's a bathroom on the right.
It's like my conductor's stick.
Mm.
All right, we got Steve. Yeah.
Jason North Face there. Jason, put Jason North Face because he wants a song.
He wants
he
a
says
song?
he's been around. He says he's been around long, and if he really has, hasn't he?
True. What's he want?
Ooh, he doesn't say. So, Jason North Face,
I'll
you
have to
got
have
to
a
give us a
name.
hint of what you want there, brother.
Okay, world famous gamers here.
WFG, what are you doing, brother?
Playing game.
Oh, no, he's
play
promoting his,
vids
YouTube
called
channel.
To me and Minecraft.
Most of the time, he's promoting his
Joel
YouTube
Lewicki's
channel. Very
here.
Joel Lewicki.
I wonder what he's looking for. I wonder if he's probed every hole
He's
looking
probed
for
every.
it.
He's looking for holes. I want to break his tool. Let's send him some lube.
Oh, it just gets worse. And we have, who else have I not said? James Casey. 2 Buckets Prospecting from Tombstone.
Oh, what a cool name.
AJ Rainville.
AJ Brainville.
Jan Allen.
He's still doing his Monday night videos. Very nice. Joel Lewicki just goes, wow. Okay, Joel.
Reynaldo's
we were
here.
just kidding. That's Reynaldo Vasquez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Same guy with
He
the long
says
letter.
if the chest is at a draw, it fits with what Forrest says about it being hidden, but doesn't mean it's not buried. Nature itself is doing the favor of burying it for him through time, so that you will have to probe to find it.
Did you see the gypsies? Hey,
Sam Freedom.
wait, can I say something? I just got a note from Jennifer Norrid from the Facebook page. So we see you, Facebook. She
You
says,
see you?
come on, Toby.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
It's like come on, Schloopy or
guess.
Snoopy or something like that. Let's see. Sam Freedom. Freedom. Keep walking, keep on your toes, and don't stop talking about freedom. Jingle bingo.
So I got a question. I got a statement from Steve. He says, "A Gypsy's Kiss, this letter probably added an extra year to Fenn's life for the laugh he got from the hilarious letter." Can you imagine the stuff he gets? I mean, if this guy, nothing against Bruce Perry, but if this guy is sending him this kind of letter about his proverbial adventures and what the results were of him having some sort of lung infection and planning to throw himself on the treasure to die. I mean, can you imagine the kinds of emails that Fenn gets? It's no wonder he's lived this long, just for the laugh, just looking forward to that night's letters, no? That night's emails.
Oh, maybe.
Dear Forrest,
It's more fun when you read them with friends, though.
me and Shelley would like to have coffee with you.
23 Monarcha.
Yes, he's in the room.
And a time to every purpose under heaven. Okay. Yeah. Milan Fenner says, hello.
Is that Milan?
Milan Fenner.
There used to be there's a chat room guy in Milan.
90 TT. Good day.
What?
Are you from Australia?
Australia?
Mate? It'd be awfully
So
late.
Jennifer
awfully late
Nord
at
is
night,
having a great time in the Facebook page. Remember
or
to say
early in the morning. Well, take a dart and
throw the
it
map,
at
and
your
you will
map.
have it. Yeah, that's kind of our strategy.
Okay. Who did I just see? Full press. Lisa Smith from Washington State.
Oh, I like Washington State.
What else do we have?
Oh, Aaron corrected me. It's Gary Gulman is the comedian. He's
Okay.
funny. I love him. I think he's funny. I listen to him on my Sirius XM all the time.
Point V, DB Cooper, Point V, Steve. Oh, this jumped when I wasn't looking. Adrian, Pavetta, Boots on the Dust. Evan Penn, Vicky McMillan, DB Cooper, Banana Mana, boop, boop, ba-doo-doo, something like that.
Jan Schultz, we are getting probed right now.
Yeah.
You know what? Take that survey. It's the equivalent of an alien probe experiment.
Is it?
Yeah. You
I
might
don't
like
think
it.
it's that bad. Off Trail Jaeger. Craig Carter's here.
Ronaldo Vasquez says, a Gypsy's Kiss. Yeah, I resent the email with a proper subject and a second time and the caution, LOL. But, well, it's done. Yeah, it is.
Craig Carter's here.
Craig Carter is here. Craig Carter. What happened? Okay, Carter.
You need to put those alphabetical in something.
It's hard to do with this damn Bosch drive. You have to know what you're doing before you even start.
Lily Bell is here. Homer Brown is present.
K-Pro, maybe she left because she was only one. I'm looking at messages a while back.
To north, to north.
Oh, Tunarth wants us to call him. So, Tunarth, if you're in the room, we're going to call you. That's the first thing we're going to do tonight, brother. So be ready for a call.
By the way, that's going to be Shelley's new song. At least give her 2 more lines for the song. It's too short right now.
Did we not play K-Pro's song?
We did. We can play it
did?
again.
We're playing again because Joel Lewicki said he didn't know what it was. This is Joel. This is a K-Pro's song.
We have West Guide TAS. TAS. I'm not sure.
Ooh, Tunarth says, a Gypsy's Kiss. By the way, if that's going to be Shelley's new song.
I just read that.
Oh.
Where have you been?
I was watching the chat room.
Just play it again.
Did you explain to him why we did that?
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer.
We can't. We're limited to 7 seconds, or we get in
know.
trouble. We had to go back.
If you added the next 2 lines, it was 9 seconds, so it went over.
They demonetized one of our videos because we went over the 7-second rule.
River Rat. Hi, Tobes and Shells. Great show tonight. Tobes rhymes with probes. We have Heidi H.
Which is my favorite thing to do, actually.
There are bison roaming northern New Mexico. They
Finding
could
strange
be
holes and probing them.
They could be. Well, but if they're roaming, then where's their home? Roaming, roaming, roaming. They're roaming. Roman bison. Okay. I'm done. Are you done?
Joe Lewicki. Can you please read that opening letter again? I just want to check my notes. Yeah.
My notes I took.
Yeah. Keywords are hole, probe, and water.
Oh, and Sakar is here.
Sakar. Do we have
What is Sakar?
We do?
Don't we?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we? Sakar, do you have a song? I thought we had a song.
Oh, no, that's Shona. Did we? Oh, we played Michael Hull, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada. Okay, so here's the deal. We're gonna swap over to text messages.
Please
then we'll
don't
open
call
the
me
thing.
after all. I had some information to share, but more has happened since last Friday that has complicated things, says
What?
Tunarth.
What complicated?
Hail to North.
Hail to North.
Do not call me, for I am a Viking and I have no phone.
Okay.
I have internet, but no phone.
Internet, but no phone. Okay, so let's read some text messages. So to North, you don't want me to call you, huh?
My
Okay,
text
take
messages
that off the
require
list.
another video.
So to North says, "This is to North. Could you please call? I could. Oh, wait, text messages. We have to do the text message video.
That's right.
Hang on. Karen Warner's in the room, and she says, just want to pop in to say hello. Granddaughter's visiting. Well, tell your granddaughter we're glad that you popped into the room, Karen, and please offer our best wishes to your visiting granddaughter. That's nice.
Gorillas Song Stylo.
I only have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so top 10. Okay, to North, I'm taking you off the list. We're not calling you. To North.
Jeep Girl Jody, I saw your message. I wrote it down. Best wishes on Toby getting to it. And hello, Maria, also known as Angelina Sings.
So if you guys want us to call you when we start the calls, if you want us to start by calling you because you have something important to say, just send me a text message to the 866 number, 866-597-9901, and we'll call you. We'll call you, and everybody will be happy. Oh, and you have to say, please call me.
Did you upgrade your probe?
I'm trying to have my probe fixed. I'm 70. It isn't as good
To
as
Nart
it
says, I did, but it's back ordered. Probes are us ran out.
Probes are us. Oh, this is going to be a long night.
Joe Sheeran is in the room. Hey, Sheeran.
Joe Sheeran?
Are you friends with Ed or
Ed Sheeran?
related to Ed Sheeran? Could he sing? Could we get permission to use his songs?
I think Joe wants us to call him. Okay, from 907. I would like to argue the point in Forrest Gets Mail 21. This is a clue to the chase. Where does it mention the baby and Nelica letter to Forrest? You know what? I'm sorry, guys, but if you believe there's hints in Forrest Gets Mail's number 21, I got nothing to talk about. That's so full of confirmation bias. You know what our show on Friday is going to be? Our show Friday, the 1 o'clock show? The title of that show is Confirmation Bias. Because there's
So the guy who wrote to us about that, write to us some more.
Because it's become a virus. It's like a virus, confirmation bias. Don Davidson, rather, is in Facebook. Did boots on the ground last week. No luck. Need to do more probing. Never. Shelley and I both say it. We tell this to everyone. Never stop probing. Hi, this is from 720. Hi, Shelley and Toby. We are new searchers, having just found out about Mr. Fenn's treasure on an episode of Expeditions Unknown. Geez, that was a 2015 episode. They're a little bit behind. With Josh Gates. So now we're hooked, planning our first boots on the ground later in this month towards the end of June. As we live in Denver, ooh, how convenient is that? We are close enough to do boots on the ground trips pretty much any weekend we want. You certainly are. My question is about critters. A couple of weeks ago, we took a getaway trip to Sand Dunes National Monument, Southern Colorado. Nice.
Sakar, you need to go stand in the corner.
What did Sakar do?
He was being
naughty?
facetious.
Oh. Getaway. God forbid that you are facetious. Sand Dunes National Monument. In the visitor center, we saw a caution sign that said timber rattlers and how they are common to altitudes of almost 10,000 feet. Does New Mexico have the same sort of dangers as well? We would like to bring a couple of grandchildren, but if we would be in the Taos Cimarron Canyon area, do we need to be concerned with those types of snakes, scorpions, spiders, etc.? Frankly, I'm far more concerned with those critters than I am with a bear or the mountain lion. I've been listening to a bunch of your videos, vlogs on YouTube. Thanks, Haunted Mansion 02.
The snakes you've seen are like grass snakes.
I have been in the mountains in northern New Mexico literally all of my life. I have yet to see a timber rattler. And the problem is there are no areas that you're going to be in that haven't been visited by white men before.
White men visit land.
White men visit.
Scare a snake.
And the snakes, they don't, unless you step into their den, they don't want to have anything to do with you. They'll move on. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't be aware of all the potential dangers, including spiders and ants and scorpions. They're all out there in the high desert. But most of the time, if you don't bug them, they won't bug you. So just be cautious. Same old cautions. I wouldn't suggest putting snake skins around your grandchildren.
Keep an eye out for cactus, depending.
Cactus. You'll have more problems with some of the
Yeah.
damn cactus than
Yeah.
you will with any of the critters.
Up in the woods, not so much because it's too wet for cactus. But there's still some. The further south you go, the more and more you'll see.
Yeah. So this is from Chris Dotson. He said he sold his painting on eBay.
Oh, very nice.
That was very nice. Next painting, he says, so he's going to do another one. So he's trying to pay for his trip out
very nice.
to where it is. Oh, it's Mike Wood. Call me on the +642. Mike, I
Don't
can't.
probe. Don't stick your hand in a hole.
Don't be probing.
Be
the
careful
hole.
where you're probing.
Be careful. If you're going to use your hand, just be careful how you're using it there. It's Mike Woods. Call me on the +64. Mike, I can't use this number to call outside the United States after the show. Sorry, I seem to hoover up a chunk of your show. Hoover up. Oh, like in vacuum cleaner. You didn't. No damage done, Mike. Don't worry about it. We'll figure out how to communicate with you. I'm trying to get a new phone number that's basically a local phone number, but it's used with this system so that we can start taking calls from all over the world. These were the magic words. He must have been one stout-hearted man. Okay, that was Joel. We're going to call him. Let's see.
He's a man.
So this is from Clayton Watson, our friend from Texas who found our second treasure. As promised, results from our boots on the ground. So no chest in hand. I don't know where he was searching. I am thoroughly convinced that I have found the blaze. Ironically, it is in the book. As I suspected, I am convinced that finding the blaze is not the last clue. That's just not Fenn's speed. There has to be another twist or two. I suspect that we were within 500-ish feet of my location, if my location is indeed correct. Rain and lack of time prevented a further search. Quickly down and tarry scant with marvel gaze or what I am working on before I go back. Feel free to call me if you want. Have a great day. P.S. Let me know if you're reading this on the show. I'm reading it on the show. I'd like to see it. In the room tonight, you're welcome to call me if you'd like. Okay, so we're going to start with Joel and Clayton. So here's the deal. So you guys, I don't want you guys, by the way, did you mention Super Chat?
I mentioned it
okay.
briefly, and
All
somebody gave us $1.99, I think, to
Okay,
start it off.
so
Super Chat challenge.
somebody called in after we got that one call last week that went on a bit longish. Somebody called in and suggested that we start taking Super Chat to end the call. You know, up when the Super Chat gets to $40. I don't want to do that. So here's what I'll do, and for those of you that were calling, so Tony Driver.
$20
in honor of George Orwell.
Big brother.
So you get 2 for that. You get an applause. And you get a cha-ching.
A little cowbell.
A little cowbell for that. Thank you, Tony. So here's what I'm going to do. If we're going to start the call, and I think we should give it about 5 minutes to develop. If it doesn't develop well, if it sounds to you like we're heading into Crazy Birds Town, then you just start saying, Shelley's going to keep an eye on the chat room, and I'm going to say if we get 5 people, I think that's a fair number, saying end the call, I will end the call, okay? And that way we can go on to other things. So it has to be, I don't want just some person yelling 5 times, end the call. But give us 5 minutes for the call to develop. And if it doesn't develop, I'm going to call Joel. Joel always has interesting stuff to say. So I'm sure it's going to go.
Joel's our friend. We're not going to hang up on Joel.
We're not going to hang up on Joel. Same with Clayton Watson. I'm not going to hang up on Clayton Watson. I'm just going to move it along, okay? But if there's a Crazy Birds call that you guys want to start at 5 minutes, give it 5 minutes to develop. And I got all the clocks in front of me here. And then you can start ending, what's a good end the call symbol?
I don't know. You guys figure it out.
Figure out what a good end the calls. I know what a good end the call symbol is. That the symbol.
Don't do that.
We're gonna
The probe symbol.
Okay. All right. Let me open up. Oh, I don't have to open up the launch. Okay, Joel Lewicki, here we go. So Joel is going to be our first test subject. See if we can make it past 5 minutes. All right. Let's see.
Caw-caw. Crazy bird. Rooster.
Caw-caw.
Arrow pointing at a phone.
Okay. How loud is that? Oh, that is way too loud.
See,
Hello, and thank you for calling Movie Phone.
What a wise ass. All right, Joel, that wasn't your number.
What?
It wasn't. It said hello and thank you
Are
for
you
calling.
sure that wasn't Joel answering
I
that
hit
way?
that number. Oh, I don't know.
Did you hang up?
I hung up on him.
Oh,
Did it sound like Joel?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It could
all
have
right.
been.
Let's try it again.
It was a man's voice. That's all I know.
I was afraid I missed my chance.
Yeah, it could have gotten real serious from that point forward. So,
Shelley, have you made a movie selection?
Have I made a what?
movie selection.
Oh. 12 strong.
She picked
all
one
I
up. So what happened was 2 weeks ago for movie night. It was Shelley's movie night, and
No, it was, last week.
Last week.
Not
It
2
was Shelley's
weeks
movie
ago.
night. But then Dan and Cynthia called and asked if they could come over to just have some cocktails and some snacks.
People don't
So-
understand what we're even talking about.
Oh, they don't? Well, then how did he know about it?
Because of movie phone. I told you that was him.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Hi, Joel. How are you doing?
Oh, Toby, you're
Yeah.
adorable. I'm good. I'm good.
And so,
I will say this, though, just on a quick technical note, I'm having a lot of trouble hearing you. I've got my volume turned up all the way. Is it possible to turn up your send volume to me
hang
at
on,
all?
just let me try this. How's that? Is that any better?
Good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Because you're loud on this side. I mean, not loud. I can hear you fine on this side.
1984.
Okay.
I get it.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Oh, yeah. Hey, sorry. I was just trying to type in the chat bar to end the call.
Oh,
So I got
nice. So, nice.
I'm
Hi,
a little
Fubar.
bit nervous
Time's
having
up.
my name associated with tonight's show. It's taken a turn that I wasn't really expecting.
It's not
so,
mine.
Shelley, keep it clean.
I didn't bring up the whole probing issue. That was that letter that Toby read.
Well, it was just so interestingly written. And not only that, he had the courtesy to cite the CFRs, which I thought was damned interesting. That's what he's going to be charged with. I don't think Joel can hear us. Joel, can you hear us?
I'm having a lot of trouble. I'm sorry.
Let me see. I've turned that up. I could turn my volume up, but what's going to happen is it's going to go really loud in the room. Hang on just a sec. Does that help at all?
It helps a lot, yeah.
Okay. All right, hold on. Hang on. We're going to just have to bring the room volume down just a little bit. Okay. So how does that...
Sorry, room. This is exactly what I was so nervous about. They're all going to want me to hang up now.
No,
We haven't
it's
talked about
fine.
anything.
No, I want you to go ahead and start talking. Your 5 minutes, at least 5 minutes start now. It
Go.
could go longer.
Okay, good. All right, so let's talk treasure, right?
Yay.
Can we talk about latent?
Latent what?
In Forrest Fenn Gets Mail, I think it was 21. Let's see. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was scrapbook 201.
Right.
He wrote the story, or he shared the story of Mary
Mhm.
as a come along for other latent adventurers.
Mhm.
And so latent is present and capable of emerging or developing, but not now visible, obvious, or active.
Mm-hmm.
So not yet visible, obvious, or active. He shared that as, is that his way of saying that the search season's starting? Or is that a specific shout out to an individual or maybe certain individuals who have not yet been active this search season.
So my interpretation of that particular sentence in the manner in which he wrote it was that he was responding to the young woman's the woman's letter where she explained how much fun she had had and how much she enjoyed it and how much she had learned and et cetera, et cetera. And he my impression of what he was trying to say was that he saw in that letter something that could be, and that's why I think he had it published as a scrapbook. He saw in that letter the excitement that might stimulate a armchair searcher to actually go out boots on the ground. That's how I interpreted it. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I know a couple of YouTube personalities who said they're not searching for the treasure anymore.
Oh.
Is it a call out from Forrest to you guys?
No, I can't. Well, you just sent the volume off the
Shelley
mark
thinks
there.
so I can tell by her laugh.
So
No, I mean,
why didn't you?
In the room, let's all the elephant in the room. Let's all acknowledge it's that I haven't been out this year. He's obviously talking about me, right?
I think anytime it's to me it's the same as the comment where he said he had a gut feeling. I think whenever he says something like that you can wrap your hands around, the impression is that it's about you, right? But
sure.
You're not a latent adventurer. You study hard. You've been boots on the ground. I don't think of you as a latent adventurer. I think those people that hang around, we were talking about Reddit the other day, and it has 14,000 subscribers, and you go in there at any point in time, and there's never more than, I'm going to say, 100 people. Because it says how many are being active in that particular Reddit subreddit. And there's never more than 100. So you wonder, what are the other 14,000 people doing? And my sense is those 14,000 people qualify as latent adventurers. And I'll throw in another statistic, and I'll share it with you just based on our survey. One of the questions we asked in the survey, as you well know because you took the survey, was, and I'm going to show this one thing. So right now we have 246 responses, and let's see. One of the questions we asked was, and I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see it too. Although it'll be a little bit late for you. Hang on just a sec. So this is the screenshot of just one of the questions that we asked. And the question is, how many times have you been boots on the ground to search for Fenn's treasure? 27% of the respondents said they have never been boots on the ground. So to me, those are the latent adventurers that Fenn is hoping will be enticed to become active as a result of the letter that was written by the woman. I can't remember her name. Do you remember her name?
Mary?
Mary? It was Mary, wasn't it? Yeah. So that's the interpretation I made of it. So do you think he's talking to?
So Shelley, I'm curious, Shelley, what your thoughts are on this. I mean, obviously, I don't think that he was writing about you guys or me. I'm being facetious when I say that.
Yeah.
But my real point is, why is Mr. Fenn, Forrest, why is Forrest still involved to the extent that he is? Why is he still publishing these scrapbooks? Shelley, what's your take on that? Why would Forrest still want to be so involved at this point?
It's his whole life. I mean, what else has he got going on right now? It's just like Toby. He couldn't leave it behind either. This is his community. He has to be here in the middle of it. He can't walk away.
Huh. Even with crazy people breaking into his house and
for every crazy person you get 100 really great people who just say thank you, I love you, you're awesome. So it evens out.
I suppose. Okay.
I
See,
mean-
that's why I wanted to ask you. I knew you would have a good response to that.
Well, I think part of it is the fact that not only does she know Fenn, she has a good sense of Fenn, but she knows me. And for as much as I felt like I want to get away from this, it was very difficult to do, especially when it came to the people in the community. And we have, I don't want to say we have a problem anywhere near Fenn's problem of the ratio between crazies and not crazies. But every day, every video we make, we're going to get emails and or comments that are so offensive, I have to delete them. And there's just, I think it's part of the nature of YouTube and social media that you're going to have to deal with that. And you learn to deal with it. And as a matter of fact, YouTube makes it very helpful. They're very helpful when it comes to dealing with these kinds of things. They give you the tools to do that. But as crazy as some of the things we get are, it's the rest of it is so much fun and so enjoyable and such a pleasure to do and see what happens. It's hard for us to step away. I don't know. Could you step away from it completely right now?
Me?
Yeah.
If I have other stuff to do, yeah. And
Yeah.
I do actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't even get to your songs. We're so busy with other stuff going on.
Yeah. So Shelley, of course, is developing her channel. We are together developing a completely different channel. So we're constantly being busy, and this is one of the areas really, really enjoy. Shelley probably takes it. I take it very seriously, but I take it seriously because I really love it. I love Wednesday nights and Friday afternoons, and I love it for two reasons. Number one, I get to spend time with her, which is a real pleasure. She's my best friend. And I get to spend time with people like you. And I think of you all as my friends. And for me, it's like coming into, I don't know, maybe not a cocktail party, but a place where I can visit with friends and converse with them, and they can ask me hard questions, and we can make fun and make jokes. I wouldn't trade this for anything right now. And like I said, every morning I wake up, I go through email and comments, and I delete the ones that are just so negative and so vile that I don't even share them with her. I don't even let her see them because I wouldn't want her to. And even with all of that, they're still looking forward. We have 202 people in the room right now. And I feel like I know some of them, and I hope they feel like they know us as well. So we think of you as our friend, Joel.
Well, the feeling is mutual. I agree with what you're saying. Shelley, I agree with what you're saying, that Forrest stays in it because of all of the good interactions that he has. I think that he is focused on helping or wanting to make it be positive for the people that are involved. And so thank you guys for what you do in helping to facilitate that. I would just throw out to the room, thank you guys for doing that. It's kind of like when we go through and you're saying who's here and playing music and stuff. It's kind of like Cheers when someone walks in, they're like, Norm's here, like that's kind of the feeling of it. And that's great. I enjoy that. So thank you very much. I did say, let's get back to Treasure.
Yeah.
And I tried to work it in with Scrapbook 201, but it ended up just being more of a, Kleenex fest here, crying and getting all sappy. Thanks, Toby. I wasn't crying. You were crying.
Yeah, I was crying. No, you were crying. So yeah, that's how we feel about it, and there's a good way to think about the Treasure. I always think of the Treasure and what Fenn has done in a positive light, and I know that I have my troubles with him. I mean, we have some issues, but it doesn't bother me. I don't care. I'm looking forward. I hope we're planning to go to Fenbury, and I hope he's there. I look forward to seeing him. And if I make him a little bit uncomfortable or he doesn't like some of the things that I say or do, I'm okay with that. And I think ultimately he's okay with that. But I'd like him to live a long and fruitful life. And I hope he's around to see that the treasure is found. And if he's not, I feel like he can go knowing that he did a good thing. He feels like he did a good thing, no matter he refers to them as the 7%ers. I think he can go to rest knowing that he's done a good thing, and I certainly will feel like that. So we enjoy.
All right,
it.
one quick question, and then I want to hang up.
All right.
Because
Because
it's been
people in the
12
room
minutes.
are saying
Someone
hang
said-
up. Oh, wait, that's Joel that said hang up.
I'll keep saying that for sure.
Okay.
Toby, you were a spook, right? Did you work for the CIA?
No.
Or you just a numbers guy in the military?
I worked for the National Security Agency for 10 years. So first the
okay.
National Security
Okay.
Agency, which
So-
is one of the departments in the intelligence community. So yeah.
But you're a code guy, right? Like you're like don't you?
I was an analyst. I was an intelligence analyst. So it had been decoded by the time it got to me. My job was to take the decoded information and turn it into something actionable. So I didn't actually.
Okay.
That's a different MOS.
If you want to be specific.
But I do understand it.
So and I know you've applied a lot of what you know to both the poem and the Thrill of the Chase book.
Yes, that is true.
Is it your opinion that some of the numbers, colors, or random things that are in the book, particularly the Thrill of the Chase, that those are placed as either part of something that does need to be broken down in some way, or figured out or put together as maybe some sort of hint? Or do you think it's possible that it's placed there to give people something to chew on, but it really doesn't lead them to anything that would be closer to figuring out the clues in the poem?
You want to answer that?
No.
So he has told us, when asked the very similar question, he has told us that there are a couple of hints in the book and a couple of aberrations around the edges. And my interpretation of aberrations around the edges, to me, were the things that stuck out like sore thumbs, like the story of the horseshoe, how to measure a horse's foot for a horseshoe footing, or the Captain Kidd story in Gardner. So there are some aberrations, and I think because of the manner in which he created this, and I'm going to go back to what the conversation we had with Sassy, you knew where to start. You knew where to start hunting for David Blaine's treasure once you decoded the first clue. So I don't have a sense until he said, when he says the first clues begin at Warm Waters Halt, I have to take him at his word. I'm not a religious person, but it's a lot like religion. You have to have faith. You can choose not to have. You can choose to have the faith or not to have the faith. I have faith that Fenn hid a treasure, that it's in the mountains north of Santa Fe, and that the first clue in his poem is begin at where Warm Waters Halt. The challenge for me is, where is that Warm Waters Halt? And I think the impression that or the conclusion that I've come to is that the hints and the aberrations get us to where Warm Waters Halt. Somehow or the other, they get us. That's what tells us where to start, where to find the first clue so that you can start taking this 9-clue trip down to where the treasure is. That's my interpretation.
You didn't answer my question.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead and ask.
Are the things do you think that there are things in there that stand out that are more than just those couple? When you say couple, you think there's really just two and maybe a few aberrations?
I'm just going to use his words, and he's always very precise with his words. He said a couple of hints and a couple of aberrations around the edges. To me, a couple, and to Fenn, I imagine when he used it, is two.
Okay.
Oh, rats, now they're telling you to hang up on me.
The Joel Show.
I didn't even tell.
So yeah, I don't want to say all my conclusions, what I will say is this, all my conclusion as a result, come from the thrill of the chase and the poem in the book. That's all. I don't try to use anything else. I can't use anything else because I follow the Forrest Fenn died in December 2010 rule. And that's what we would have had. We would have had a couple.
Right.
We would have had
So
one of the
just a quick
1,000.
shout out.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about this. I was watching one of Mike Cowling's early videos.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, he talks about the fact that, we're looking for a specific spot on a map, right? And Forrest mentions minutes and seconds. He mentions weird numbers like 36 inches long.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds an awful lot like 36 longitude.
Right.
There are things in there that if they don't actually help you, there are things that would almost direct you away from or divert you from actually finding it.
So
if it doesn't lead you closer, then it's really leading you farther away, right? And so a lot of people that approach this or that maybe write in or that want to share their solves with people, I feel like oftentimes that's what they're focused on.
Right.
Are these other things? Are they really getting any of us any closer?
Well, the obvious answer to that is apparently not, because we still don't have, right? There is no evidence. I'll repeat this, although some people don't like it. There is no evidence that the poem has been solved, the treasure has been found, or that it has been recovered. So we're still struggling with it. Another statistic I wanted to talk about, and we'll talk about it maybe next week, is the number of people that think the treasure will be found this year. It's 30+%, and it was the same last year. Mm-hmm. It was 30+% of the 100%. 1/3 of the people think that it's going to be found this year. And the survey we did last year said the same thing. So we struggle with, I think there's a hope and a belief that it has the potential to be found at any time, but there's no indication that there's, if I could talk with any 5 searchers and ask them where they're going to search, and it would be 5 different locations. That was another one. In which state do you think the treasure is found or will be found? And it's not equally divided because New Mexico still has some form of precedence, but it's someplace in those. We had, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, but not Yellowstone, Montana, but not Yellowstone, and Yellowstone. After New Mexico, those 4 almost, the remaining 4 almost are equally. So that means it's hard. There is no sense of where to begin because of the 250 or so people that have taken the survey, it's equally divided between where to start looking. You probably know as well as I do, you can start any conversation at a table with searchers, and everyone at that table will have a different impression of where the treasure is hidden. And so there's no sense of common. I mean, it's hard to have a common purpose when you can't even agree where to start. So it's got to be in the book someplace. The book tells us, someplace in that book, there is something that tells us where to start, where that warm waters halt. Mine was. Otherwise, we're all looking in 4 different states.
Well, thanks for taking my call, or for calling me, I guess.
Well, thank you for giving us the opportunity to have this conversation. I don't often get the opportunity to kind of, hash out these things. And it also gives me an opportunity to take a look at what I'm thinking and see how off base it is,
Shelley, can I ask you one more question?
Okay.
If you could start over the search as a new searcher, knowing what you know now, what do you think would be most helpful for you in restarting? Like, as you started off, what do you think would be most helpful to figure out Forrest's poem?
Well, I guess I would need to figure out that's a very difficult question because all I want to say is I want to figure out where warm waters help, but of course that's obvious. I don't think that's different for anybody else who's new, old, or whatever. I don't know what else to ask. If I did, I would have asked him when I met him. All I can tell you is he told me read the book and read the poem, and that's how you're going to find the treasure. I guess I would want to know what part of the book was the most important part to pay attention to, other than the poem.
Ask me the same question.
Okay, Toby. If Shelley was going to start over the search, what?
I'd tell her to go back and watch.
Seriously, what?
I'd tell her to go back and watch all of AGK's videos. That's a great place to start. So we need to have you on the show more often because we've gone way beyond our 5 minutes here, Joel. And nobody.
Yep, I'm hanging up. Okay, bye.
No. I'm saying nobody's asking for you to hang up, so they must be
Other than
okay.
you.
Okay,
That's they're not even listening. They're typing about other stuff.
Yeah.
They're having their own side conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, sir. Feel free to call anytime you want and give us advice.
You guys are the best. Reminder to the room, come check out the Forrest Fenn Marathon this weekend, even though AGK has a scheduling conflict and isn't going to be simulcasting it. We'd love to see you guys on Saturday.
Yeah, we look forward to it. And when I can get there, I should probably explain to everybody why we can't be there. And I'll do that. And just thank you for reminding me. And I'll remind everybody to be there. But I think I'm going to tell everybody why we can't be there. Okay.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Also, I forgot to say, I found the treasure chest. It slipped out of my hands, and I'm going to go back and get it. But I know exactly where it is.
You know what? I'm going to play. What am I playing here? I'm going to play. Let's see. No,
I love it. I'm going to hang up and watch it.
No, we are going to play Crazy Birds with that one. Here's Crazy Birds for Joel. All right, little Crazy Bird song.
What is AGK? AGK stands for A Gypsy's Kiss,
which is the name of our YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's just abbreviation.
And if you want to understand what it means, ask the room because they've heard the story so many times they probably have it memorized. So we had planned to be on the marathon on Mike and Christie's marathon on June 15th. That was the plan. I was going to be on it for most of the time. I was going to spend all 10 hours. Shelley was going to be on it for part of the time. And so I had to cancel. And the reason I have to cancel is I don't know how much you guys know about me, but up right here, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
I can knock on it.
There is a defibrillator.
There's skin over the top. So
right.
Doesn't knock very
There's
well.
a defibrillator. It's inside the skin on my chest. I've had it in there since 2012, and they kept advising me every 6 months I go for a checkup, and they tell me how the battery's doing. And we knew after the last checkup that the battery was going to wear down. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to die. It's not running my heart. It just collects data, and it collects a massive amount of data. About 2 weeks ago, and they told me I would know when it was happening because the device, and they have a specific time, 10:10 in the morning, the device would start beeping at me, and the sound that it would make is like one of those, like a European police car, blue, 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 like that. Well, 2 weeks ago, it started beeping. And so they wanted to...
Joel says you got to go get probed.
Yeah, I'm going to get probed by the guys at the VA. So it's an outpatient operation, but they wanted me in as soon as possible. And they were doing these kinds of operations for other VA patients all day on Friday, so they couldn't get me in there. But the doctors decided to do it on Saturday. So this Saturday, I'm going in, and I'm going to have... they don't just replace the battery. It's a sealed device, so that you can't replace the battery. They'll replace the entire device. And the advantage to that is that there's been improvements in technology, and one of the improvements, I won't bore you to death with this, but one of the improvements
late.
is I can't. Yeah, just do it. We're already bored. With this device, I can't have an MRI. So if there's something wrong with me, I can't do an MRI because it's affected it. But now in the new device, because of the way they've insulated it, I don't know the technology. It's made by Medtronics. I can now, with the new device, if I need an MRI, not that I need one, but if I need one, I could have one. And it's not a dangerous operation. It's the wires are already implanted in my heart. They'll basically open up. It's an outpatient operation. I'm awake during the operation. It's a local anesthetic.
You're making Mitzi get all grossed out.
Oh,
So
okay.
could we just
All right.
move this along?
All right. Anyway, so yeah, so that's why we can't make it to.
So he's going to be at the doctor's on Saturday.
I'm going to be
End of
at the
story.
hospital, the VA hospital, all day on Saturday. Sorry.
All right.
So that's why.
So I had a cool question here from Lisa Smith. If the searchers that were early on, that happened early on, what has changed from the beginning of the hunt? Well, number one, it went worldwide instead of just being only in Santa Fe. When the hunt first started, all 1,000 books were only sold at the Collected Works bookstore in Santa Fe. The only people who really knew about it were people who lived in Santa Fe and maybe even just the surrounding areas like Albuquerque and Taos, not much more than that. So, and the people who knew about it also knew Fenn. The person, from what we understand, the person who was closest to the treasure knew Fenn pretty well. And that he knew where Fenn went, what Fenn liked. He knew about him, his personality. So he had some good leads on where to start looking. And when he told Forrest Fenn, where he had gone, Forrest Fenn was surprised that somebody knew him that well to so easily stumble upon the area that was special to him. He didn't tell anybody, this person especially, that they were the one that was close, but he knew in his mind this person got pretty close to that. So when he opened it up to Margie Goldsmith and United Airlines Hemispheres Magazine and the Today Show and everything else, and it went worldwide, then he opened it up also to the entire Rocky Mountains at that point. So he brought in a lot of additional confusion to the hunt, and a lot of people added their ideas, their theories to where the treasure might be. And these people did not know Forrest Fenn as well as those people in the beginning of the hunt. So they added in a lot of their own ideas that wouldn't be the same as what Forrest's ideas were. So I believe that is why there were people much closer in the beginning of the treasure hunt than there are now.
I'm going to move your microphone just a little bit closer because there's a dropout that I'm hearing in my headset.
Okay.
Okay.
See, this is why I don't talk.
No, you do talk, and what you say is always very helpful, and it's always very refreshing the way that you see it. So, the problem, as if you haven't been out boots on the ground yet, you're going to find that 200 feet away from where you are is not. It's 2/3 of a football field, but on a football field, it's wide open spaces. When you're out there, 200 feet is you're blind.
Okay,
especially.
so look, everybody says I'm wrong, so I'm done.
It's okay to be wrong. We're all wrong, right? Nobody's found it yet. Everybody's wrong. Let's see. All right. So Lulubelle says, Lulubelle. So while you guys were doing it, I'm going to open up the phone lines because I think we've got all the calls done. So I'm going to open the phone lines. Well, no, I've got a voicemail. So let me play the voicemail first. Hang on.
Hey, Toby. Just a quick question. I was just curious. I think on your show tonight, you had mentioned that you had a guy that found a coin and a skull and a tree on an island on the Los Pinos, right on the Colorado border. And I'm wondering if that's exactly where you may have thought the treasure was and it wasn't there, so that's why you put your own treasure there for somebody else to find. I'm curious to see if you were like, when you were mentioning the Los Pinos, as if you were mentioning your little treasure versus where you might think.
All right. Oh, you got to cut off. So in response, let's see who that is. It's he said Sylvie. The Rio de los Pinos was the last location where we were searching for Fenn's treasure. And we were up there 5 or 6 different times last summer, and we were looking for it. But we were also doing other things. So we were picnicking and cooking and doing all kinds of stuff. And we had these bronze coins that I think that was one of the ones that Christy or Mike had sent us.
Mike.
It was an extra one. It was an extra coin that we had, and we decided to hide it.
You bought some extras.
Oh, that's right. We bought some extras. We gave them away, did some other things. But one of the things that we wanted to do was hide one in that area up there because we thought it was so beautiful, and we challenged people to go find it. We used photographs to do that. And where we hid it was on this, there's an island along the Rio de los Pinos, in the Rio de los Pinos, just below the Colorado-New Mexico border. And it's just a nice little spot. It'd be a great
Clayton's
place
going to the gym.
Clayton's off to the gym. Oh, so we're not going to be able to talk to him?
He says, if you're not going to call, I'm going to go to the gym.
Okay. So I'm not going to stop anybody from going to the gym. The calls aren't that important. Gym is more important. Anyway, so we decided that it would be a fun place to put that coin, and we wanted to put it someplace that was difficult but not impossible. Why? I sound like Forrest Fenn. Anyway, there are all kinds of bones and skulls and things out there from the wildlife in the area that has died. And so we found this small skull. I couldn't tell you what kind of creature it was. We were teasing that it was a baby mastodon skull. We found this small skull, and we put the coin in there, and then Shelley put the coin in a blue spruce tree. And then we used photographs. The hints that we gave when we told people where to find it was a photograph of the blue spruce tree. And as you're walking by the island, it's the only blue spruce tree on that island. And Jack figured that out. And they went almost directly to it from what we understood. Or they went one day and couldn't get that far down because his legs were hurting. And then they went, I don't know whether it was the following day or a couple of days later, and they went back to the area. It's a relatively easy hike, would you say? It's not. I mean, I can make it. If I can make it, anybody can make it. So, but it's a fun hike, and it's a beautiful area, especially when the water's flowing, and you can do some fishing. So that was the last area in which we had a theory, and we still have that theory. I mean, we haven't changed that. Okay.
No,
so,
we didn't have to dig for it. It was in a tree branch.
Yeah, it was in a tree branch. We wouldn't bury. We've got another one that we're going to hide up in the area in Hyde Park around Fenbury. We're going to hide that one. It's one of the silver coins that Mike sent us. So one of the things that we got was when we did the last marathon, Mike sent us he sent us 2 of them. One of the silver coins. What did we do with the other one?
You gave it away as a prize for
that's
somebody
right.
who gave
Susie
Fenhaven.
Fenhaven. So we've got one more,
$100.
and we're going to hide this. We're going to go up the weekend before Fenbury, and we're going to hide it in the area somewhere around where in Hyde Park, where Fenbury is taking place.
Hyde Park.
Hyde Park. It's HYDE. Oh, it's named after a person.
All the
I
other
can't
Hyde
remember.
Parks in the world.
Okay, so this is from 814. Do we have a name? It says, lesson number 1, diamonds or coal dust. A little Q&A from the Beverly Hills Billy, Pennsylvania. Why do you think no one has picked up on the clue? So, no why questions. Why questions just don't make any sense. Something like the path will be clear, the one who knows the treasure location beforehand, and unclear for the ones that don't. Cold waters freeze, cloudy. You're welcome. Happy Father's Day, TBHB, the Beverly Hills Billy in Pennsylvania. So, and says he's praying for me. I don't expect to need prayers. Like I said, it's not an open heart operation. It's a outpatient operation. I'm actually conscious while they're doing it. And all it is opening it up, taking the device out, replacing the
Compared
device,
to some of
connecting
the
the
other
wires.
surgeries he's been through.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a
This
biggie.
is actually one of the least intrusive surgeries I've ever had. So, and every 6 years, they tell you 6 to 7 years, you have to have that change. So I'm okay with that if it keeps me alive longer.
Lucky it's not true for all implants. Just
Yeah, for this one. Okay, we're going to open up the phone lines right now. If you want to call, you have a comment, you have something to say, we'll listen to you for at least 5 minutes, and then we'll leave it up to the room.
so. When did Expedition Unknown put out this?
It was 2000.
repeat
It was
video?
early.
I know, but
you
they've
can.
been recently repeated or something.
I don't know if they're necessarily repeated as much as you can if you do.
Oh, it's on YouTube or something.
Not on YouTube. It's on all the like Netflix and all the streaming. Right, all the streaming ones. I can get it on YouTube TV. I can go back seasons, like I'm doing the Dexter season 1 right now. So yeah, you can go to Expeditions Unknown and look up Forrest Fenn, and you can see that.
Yes, Brad Kinzer. We will have clues to the location of the coin that we hide at Hyde Park.
Yeah. So yeah, we haven't quite figured out how we're going to do the clues. Shelley wants me to do something really constructive and difficult.
I
But
said I'd help.
yeah, no, you're going to have to because I'm limited to
I
codes and ciphers. So
yeah. Well, you do that part of it, and then I'll change it into
poetry.
a metaphor, a poetry metaphor or something that's
So yeah,
people think they're so
I mean,
easy to figure out.
it's
so.
just that's we've been told that our it's like those the Canadian poems, I guess, where they found the treasure, the first one within a day. So, so yeah, we're gonna hide it up there at Hyde Park, and we hope to go up there Saturday afternoon for the potluck. I'm going to be making a big pot of my world famous pozole, and Kevin's coming with us.
Kevin and probably Jason.
And Jason, we're hoping to bring Jason up with us too. So it should be a lot of fun. Lots of picture taking. Must Listen Good says, a Gypsy's Kiss, more Shelley theories, good stuff. Agree or not? So,
Never fails. Everybody disagrees with me.
no, that's not true. I agree with you all the time. Hey, you've reached Toby and Shelley. Who is this? Where are you calling from? And what's the nature of your question? Oops. Didn't think it was.
Oh, Toby?
Yeah, it's me. And Shelley.
Yes. How are you doing? How are
Good.
you doing tonight, Shelley?
Hello.
Good, good. This is Visionary from Montana. I
Hey.
called you probably about a month ago.
Oh, hey, Visionary from Montana. How are you
And-
doing?
I'm doing good. Anyway, I have something that I've thought about for a long time, and for the chat room too, and if somebody doesn't like it, they can tell me to hang up, and I will.
Okay,
But
that's
anyway,
fair.
when Forrest wrote the poem, the very first poem, and it's, supposedly it did end with, leave my bones, take the chest and go in peace. Let's just say or something like that.
Yeah, it says take the chest and
Do
leave my
you-
bones.
Leave my bones and
Mhm.
go in peace.
Mhm.
Well, then he got well, of course. I mean, we all know the story, so I'll just get to the point. Do you think Peggy knew this? His plan from the beginning? Do you think, or when do you think Peggy, let's just say, found out that was his plan? And did she say, no, you're not, if you know what I mean?
So that's an interesting question. The question is, how secretive can Fenn be with the spouse that he's been married to for over 50 years? So we do know that there were a number of people, both family and friends, who knew that the treasure existed. They knew that,
Oh, sure.
that
Right.
Fenn was planning to hide the treasure. I don't think,
Right.
I think that because this is what I'm about to express is my opinion. I think that Fenn would have had a very difficult time not using the part of the story that says, and I'm going to take it up there and die, because you got to remember, at the time he made this whole plan, he had cancer. He was expecting to die, right?
Right.
This wasn't. This
Right.
is so the treasure existed. He was dying. He was putting it together. He was telling people he was going to take it with him, et cetera, et cetera. And there was a point at which he
Right.
made a conscious decision, whatever it was. He made the conscious decision that he was going to die around the treasure, just like he wanted to make that decision for himself, in the same way that his father had.
Right.
The problem
Father did. Right.
occurred, as he said at Moby Dickens, was he messed the whole story up because he got well. So now the mentality had to change, and I think the mentality was, I've got this wonderful treasure that I've collected and continue to collect for, and my plan is to hide it and share that hiding it with the world. I don't think he had the plan for the book until closer to the 2009, because he asked people to write his memoir, and he was going to incorporate it in that. I think there was a point at which, if he had said to anyone, it's like saying something to your wife where you say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to retire to Costa Rica. And your wife goes, yeah, sure you are, buddy. Go out and mow the lawn. Because wives don't take husbands that kind of serious. They know them well enough. And the sense you get of the relationship between Peggy and Fenn is that she knows him well enough to know that he's going to say stuff like that because he kind of wants to get a rise out of you. He wants to see your reaction. I'm going to throw my body on it and die right there and leave my bones. There's a point at which the logic of what he's suggesting isn't rational, right? You can't. It's not a logical thing to do because he would disappoint his family. Imagine how his family would feel if what they got was a message saying, "I'm taking the treasure." So I think what Peggy would have done, my opinion, this is all opinion, I don't know them well enough, but it strikes me that when you have a woman who's married to you for 50 years, she knows all your idiosyncrasies, and in Fenn's case, she probably knows he has a penchant for getting a rise out of you. And he probably tried to get rises out of Peggy, and she looks at him the same way I'm sure sometimes Shelley looks at me, although she's not my spouse. I say things, and Shelley gives me that look like, stop it, don't be crazy, right? And then after years and years of making this plan, I think there was a point at which he realized that to do that, to die around it, would have left a paper trail 1.5 miles wide, aside from the fact that he would have to figure out what to do with the car, etc. So he probably had it out of his mind, and there, I imagine that Peggy, somewhere along the line, knew that this grand plan of his could never be implemented if what he wanted was a treasure that would not be found for 1,000 or 100 years. The two don't.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The two don't go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Dying around, throwing your body on the treasure to end your life does not go well with, I want the treasure, the search for the treasure to last 100 years or maybe even 1,000. Those two things do not work together. And he's smart enough, I think he's smart enough to know that.
What if Peggy said to him, that's all fine and dandy, but I want to know where the place is? Just thoughts that kick around in your head.
Yeah.
Forrest says nobody knew but him, not even Peggy.
Right.
But if he would have, if Forrest would have done this, would have walked out in the woods somewhere, threw his bones on it. He said he was going to do it, but it's just strange to me that he would have done this and not somewhere down the line. Peggy would have known, or the family, somebody would have known where to take Peggy to see him. Or if there wasn't a finder of the chest. I just can't imagine with Forrest's history, his background, compassion. She was the leader of the team that got him healthy.
Yeah.
And it's just funny to me that he would do this. And somewhere, like I say, somewhere down the line, she didn't find out in some way, where she could go pay her respects to her husband and the family. It's just something that I've always thought about.
Well, and the other thing that you have to incorporate into your thinking is that at this point, at the point that we're at now, and at the point that we were at probably in 2010, that would be a hypothetical. It didn't happen. It didn't happen the way he had discussed. So the question is, does she know Fenn? Did part of that conversation? What your question is? Did Fenn have that conversation, or somebody have that conversation with Peggy, where they said to her, if Forrest goes out and decides to throw himself upon the chest, I know where he's going to be, and he should probably tell you so that you could. That we don't know. There's no way. It's all hypothetical.
Who knows?
Yeah,
Very
it's
true.
all hypothetical.
I truly believe, just real quick before I hang up, I truly believe that Peggy is, I don't believe this, in my opinion. Peggy has been there and doesn't even know it. I believe somebody has been there, like you said, a close friend. I didn't know he knew me so well. You just said that tonight. Somebody in the back of their mind, or even Peggy, or to me, somebody has been there. That's just my opinion.
Well,
and Forrest feels the 85% thing.
Yeah.
When Forrest says nobody knows but me,
right?
He's a smoozer. I mean, it's just something that I thought I'd throw in, Toby. You know?
Well, to go along with what you are hypothesizing, I imagine, in my imagination, I believe that Fenn, so I go back to the two people can keep a secret if one of them is dead. I think there are two people that Fenn, at the end, in his later years, had very strong relationships with. One was his father, who he always wanted to impress, and the other was Eric Sloan, who was old enough to have been Fenn's father at the time. And I think he held respect for both of them. And I think that it is very possible that at some point or the other, Fenn, knowing that these two men were getting close to the end of their lives, gave them the opportunity to learn the story and see this special place that Fenn had picked out. But because they're dead, the one person can keep a secret. So that's my theory in that particular matter. So I think I believe, like you, that other people have seen Fenn's special place, but they can't speak because they're no longer with us.
I just read here real quick that Texas James, I don't think that conversation took place until Fenn was well. And I kind of think of it that way too. Possibly Donnie or Skippy. But I don't think the conversation is what I said, 15 years now, how many years it's been now, but 15 years after I wrote the book, or, it took him 50 years to write the poem and 10 weeks or months to write the book. I don't think the conversation, like Texas, what's the name just said, took place. I believe a conversation did take place. Let me put it that way. I'm sorry to stutter, but the conversation did take place after the fact.
Yeah.
And one little thing real quick. When Forrest, Mr. Fenn, whatever, closed the chest, he felt a little bit of himself, however he put that, I don't know the exact wording, a little bit of himself go into that chest. Mm-hmm. And he dared people to come find, he said in the Rain Mills interview, I dare you to come find me and this and that. Mm-hmm. Is he already in the chest? Mm-hmm. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I don't.
Is he already in the chest? You already feel that.
Right.
So he is clear now to be buried, the family burial.
Right. Yeah, whatever he put in there. I mean, if you consider what was placed in the olive jar.
Besides the DNA.
Well, the hair was not, he may not even, that's my theory, right? It could be that he placed a little bit of hair in that just so he could say there's a little bit of me in it. But you can't ignore the fact that he spent money, time, and effort pulling this all together. And I don't know about you, but it's whenever you put money, time, and effort into some project, the metaphorical phrase that we use commonly is that there's a little bit of me in that project, right? It's a reference to the amount of time, money, and effort you've invested in it. So,
definitely. Well, I hope I didn't bore anybody. But,
no, you're so far you're okay. Nobody's telling me to hang up on you, so you're doing okay.
Yeah. Like I say, real quick, and Shelley, I'd like to say hi to you and just how much I appreciate watching you guys. I am a subscriber, but I'm having trouble trying to get a way to put my name into, without using my real name. I have a problem trying to get my name in there as Visionary, but I did it on my other PC, but I haven't been able to pull it off on this one. But anyway, I'm about to enjoy watching you guys, but, like I say, real quick again, there's just something to me that's strange about that whole, the whole thing from the beginning to, the people that he relied on and to the end, let's say to now.
Yeah.
That, he can't go back there. And just real quick, the look on Peggy's face must have been, I'd like to have been a fly on the wall. The look on his kid's face when they found this out and looked at him and said, "Oh, you think so, Forrest?" I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So,
if they may not have known the place, they certainly had to know his plan, and they would have taken it with a grain of knowing Forrest Fenn salt, right? You had to know. I mean, I say things to my kids, and they give me that. I can't even replicate the look, but it's something like that. Like, really, Dad. All right, sir. By the way, we're one little thing. What state are you calling from?
Montana.
Montana. All right, sir. All right. You have a good evening, and thanks for calling in. And we look forward to hearing from you in the future.
Too.
All right?
I hope so.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Take it easy. Bye.
All right. A couple things. Minotaur is here. Hey, Minotaur.
Minotaur Morena.
And you know who else is here? We haven't seen in forever. And he was like, "Oh, wow, look how many people you have now." OG Slap Slap.
OG Slap Slap?
Right?
Damn.
I know. He's also changed his name to Lunk Lunk the God. So that's interesting. OG, we have missed you.
Yeah.
So glad you are back.
It's been ages.
Yeah.
So
I would like to say, as I am not the wife of a veteran, but if I were, as Peggy is, I would feel that I was owed something like a military funeral, a flag, some medals, something from the government, some sort of sign that my husband and myself, and Peggy's case as well, because she was married to him at the time he was in the service, and she had 2 daughters while he was in the service. So, she sacrificed a lot. I'm sure we all understand that wives of military men sacrifice by having to wait and wonder if they're going to come home. I would say it would be a disservice to her for him to not give her at least that closure and that honor of being the wife of a veteran, especially since he had won so many awards, the Silver Star and the Vietnamese
Cross of
Gallantry, and all of the many things that he'd won, including Purple Heart. So I would feel very slighted if I were her and had put up with so much throughout his military career, only to have him go off and die in the forest. That's not respectful, I don't think. Now, that's not my marriage. I'm not involved in it, but I'm just my opinion as a wife and a mom that would be a very, I think, disrespectful way to end things.
Speaking of which, your honey bunny's in the room.
Oh, hey, honey bunny.
It strikes me that one of the things about Fenn is that he is a man of ritual. And because he was a 20-year, he was what we call a lifer, spent 20 years in the service as an officer, and he was wounded and decorated in combat, he's going to get a full military funeral. There's going to be taps played. There's going to be guns fired in the air. It's going to be, hopefully, I imagine, in that beautiful national cemetery where I want to be buried in Santa Fe. And I can't imagine Fenn. Remember when he talked about that guy that when they found the Rosetta Stone, and he said, "Don't you think that guy is just looking down and he's feeling pretty proud?" I have a sense that one of the things that Fenn would want is the ritual and the elegance of a military funeral, and
he worked.
And if it happens in my lifetime,
he put a lot of himself into that. He earned it. He deserves.
Yeah. If it happens in my my lifetime, I will be there to honor him like all the other of his friends. So, and they can, veterans can have their spouses buried next to them in national cemeteries. So it's very likely that that Peggy will be buried next to him in that national cemetery. She doesn't get the military honors, but she can be buried next to him.
Honestly, the funeral is about the living, isn't it? It's that closure for them. It's that ceremony that says to them, we all honor you and your family and, your husband's life. That's the family deserves that honor.
Yeah.
So.
And Evan, you're right. You have a choice about how to go out. If I think all of us have the possibility that if we are looking forward to some kind of ugly death, you want the choice of whether to do that. But it's different after you're gone and you leave a family behind, and they want closure, and that's what that kind of funeral does, whether it's a military funeral, with taps being played, or just, the act of going to church and going to the burial and then going from there to the wake. That's all part of the closure process. And I can't imagine that anybody, once you thought about it, would avoid that closure for the people that they left behind. So.
Well, that's our opinion.
Yep.
Again,
I'm certainly looking forward.
We don't know that's true.
I don't get
about
quite
them,
the ceremony, but I do get buried at the National Cemetery. I want to be in Santa Fe, and I've already got my spot picked out.
Nice now you just got to pick out who gets the flag.
Sangre de Cristo Mountains.
You've got a big family.
I'll be looking at the mountains north of Santa Fe, somewhere in the mountains north of Santa Fe. So. It'll be nice. All right, guys, it's 9:00. That's 2 hours for us. It's been a long night.
You just want to close them. Oh, you already closed the phones?
I've already closed the line. So the phone lines are closed. So if you call in now, you're going to go to voicemail. We will be back on Friday at 1:00, then at 2:30.
At 2:30, we have the softer side, and we have a really fun show this week. I'm going to be talking about biohacking, and the fun part, the exciting part, is that I'll be doing an unboxing. I've joined a club kind of thing where every quarter they send you a mystery box full of items that are biohacking items and they're very leading edge, scientifically designed and first time available to the public kind of things. So I don't even know what's in there until I get the box. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing on Friday during the Softer Side show at 2:30. So if you're interested in what's in my biohacking box, and then make sure that you subscribe to the softerside.live tonight and click on that bell to receive notifications when we go live on Friday for that fun unboxing. And then we're going to talk about biohacking. What is it? Why do people do it? And what's it good for? So.
And our Friday show is, our Fenn show on Friday at 1:00 is on confirmation bias. I'm going to give you some examples so you know when it's hit you. It certainly has hit me a couple of times, but you'll know how to define confirmation bias and how to keep it out of your theories, because it does a lot of damage to your theories for my theories for the search area, for where the treasure is. So, okay. Oops, I don't want to do that. So that's all I got. Let's do a little.
Well, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow. Kick off your shoes and you throw 'em on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Louisiana Saturday night.
And
thank you, everybody, for being here this evening for our Humpday Hoedown, for participating in our probing conversation, and for a Gypsy's Kiss. I'm Shelley Carney.
And I'm Toby Younis. We'll see you again on Friday. And join us because we'll have some really probing questions for you.
Louisiana Saturday